Hello there, my beautiful fellow weebs.
Bonjour.
It's winter right now, isn't it? My favorite season. The only problem is that, well, it can get somewhat cold at times. You know, usually one would just sit comfortably under the blankets while sipping on some steaming hot tea and probably even enjoying some good company. But we are weebs. We don't have friends. So what better ways there to warm up other than spending hours on end following wholesome and sometimes less so
I want you to own me and treat me like an animal.
What did he say?
stories about people falling in love with each other and living through all of those cliché rom-com situations that we never got to live ourselves. Please don't answer that. Prior to the 2023 winter anime season, unfortunately I wasn't too hyped about the shows we were getting. Sure, there's some big sequels like Tokyo Revengers Season 2, but I still haven't read past the first volume, so I wasn't really interested, and the same thing goes for Vinland Saga. So in a desperate search for something that could like my need for new anime series.
I need a drink.
And no, finishing a 50+ series I still haven't finished was definitely not an option. Well, I decided to give Tomo-chan as a girl a go. But Tomo-chan is, well, very clearly a girl. But Jun, her childhood friend, doesn't want to acknowledge this fact. Hell, up until a certain point, he didn't even realize that his friend was an actual female. He thought it was a dude. I mean, we even get a beach episode where Tomo spends the majority of her time looking like this. Eyes up here, thank you. Well, Jun being the cliché love interest that doesn't want to be honest with himself because he's afraid of changes, and the already established friendship that he shares with Tomo, he basically ignores any type of flirt from Tomo. I mean, this anime series is truly something because Tomo even manages to confess her love to Jun at the beginning of the very first episode. It's gotta be a record for anime standards. And do you know how does this little bitch react? Oh, this is how. I mean, other than that, his behavior is probably the only trope that could manage to squeeze an entire season, and probably even more in the future, from a premise that could come to an end in the first 20 seconds of the very first episode if the love interest wasn't the epitome of a Sigma male. Now, besides the always growing desire to punch Jun in the face, it's actually somewhat entertaining to follow the personal growth of Tomo, and the progress that she makes to become more feminine and pursue her goal of finally getting into a relationship with Jun. Although the main storyline is, dumb to the point that with each passing minute, the risk of developing a brain aneurysm drastically increases, there's no need to worry because the secondary characters somehow manage to operate on one shared brain cell. And it's not even like a top-tier brain cell. It's just, the one like in the back of the class that doesn't really interact with anybody and that it's kind of in its own world. Yeah, that one. We have this kind of lolly-looking, creepy childhood friend that is kind of jealous because she's somewhat scared of losing her best and only friend if she actually ends up getting together with Jun. And then there's Carol, an absolutely brain-dead foreign student with very interesting attributes. Actually, I'm joking, I believe for each second that this absolute goofball with brains the size of a walnut is on screen. A world where human beings harmoniously coexist with the descendants of mystical creatures that wield amazing powers, like being a portable fridge for ice cream and risking to literally melt to your death during summer. This is the world where Fuyutsuki and Himuro happen to cross paths. They're both part of a new group of employers at a big office. Himuro is a very handsome and tall guy that happens to be the descendant of the Ice Queen. Thus he obtained the power of controlling whatever it's called, imagine Elsa from Frozen if she was a cute anime boy. His first day at work starts kinda shitty because, as we quickly learn, he's not really able to control his powers, which end up activating each time his emotions are anything else than, absolutely stale brain dead. This is the reason why, being extremely nervous to start working at a new place, he literally freezes himself to the ground. That is when he meets Fuyutsuki, a beautiful young woman that, seeing Himuro struggling, can't do otherwise than try to assist him in any way she can. She ends up encouraging Himuro with some nice words, and he finally unfreezes, almost instantly falling in love with her. Now, more than a couple of minutes later, they realize that they work at the same company.
Well, no shit.
And, here we learn that the world of the Ice Guy and his cool female colleague is actually filled with people that own supernatural powers. Like this fox girl that has one of the most annoying voices I've ever heard.
Shut up!
You're pretty accurate though. Have you ever fucking heard foxes screaming? You haven't? Well, let me give you an example. Well, now you have the answer to humanity's biggest question.
What does the fox say?
Having now the opportunity to see each other every day, the relationship between the two grows bigger with each passing episode. The interesting thing about this anime though is, well, you know how a couple in any rom-com anime is usually made of a basic main character, a dude that can range from a complete nihilist to a straight up sexual offender.
I wish that bicycle seat was my face.
Well, this is the first time I happen to see two kuderas getting together. You'd be prepared for a pretty wild ride, because two kuderas together, that is, well, definitely somewhat of an original approach. Okay, well, all in all, extremely cute main characters, an entertaining dynamic that will make your heart go pion pion on multiple occasions, and nice animation as well as character design. So far, this anime is a must-watch for all of you lovesick fellow individuals out there. Imagine this, you're coming back home from school. The rain is pouring down, battering with its confused rhythm, and you see a girl, and not just any girl, the so-called angel of your classroom, sitting on a bench alone and drenched. Oh, that kind of wrecked. What would you do? Well, if your social skills level are as low as the chance of me understanding the hype behind Genshin Impact, then you would probably just ignore her. But if you happen to be such a considerate human being as Amane Fujimiya, then you would stop and give her your umbrella as a true gentleman. Well, now imagine this. After coming back home under the rain, considering that your immune system is probably worse than that of a Victorian newborn, because your diet probably consists of cup ramen, energy drinks, and hopes for a better future, you fall ill. You're alone. You don't even know what medicine you should use, and for a moment you even decide to take your best guess with the pills you find laying around, knowing that, worst case worst, you still have a chance to get your isekai.
Link start.
Fuck this.
But just before that happens, you remember that you're a main character in a rom-com anime, and at any minute now, the girl you helped is about to knock at your door in order to repay the favor. Oh, what could that be?
Here's Johnny.
The plot of the series is very simple. From this moment on, the so-called angel, because of her caring personality and beautiful looks, is gonna help Amane with chores as well as spoiling him with amazing home-cooked meals. This dude is fucking living the hospice experience at like 17. And then, slowly but surely, the two are gonna be developing feelings for each other. A rom-com which strongest point is to show your relationship so pure and wholesome that after every episode your desire to see the whole world burn is gonna increase as rapidly as another series stops airing episodes because of COVID. Oh nice, another girl's favorite activity is a tease a dude she's obviously in love with but is either too afraid to take initiative or is just one of those chicks that think it's the man's duty to ask them out first. Let's see, we had Nagatoro-san, whose jokes on this poor guy were blatant episodes of hardcore bullying, but we did get some nice alternative media from it, so we're good on that.
Approved.
Then there was Takagi-san. Okay, you know, we're getting somewhat more innocent here. You know, at least the pranks she pulled on Nishikata couldn't really classify as abuse. But now we get Kubo-san. The male protagonist of the show is Shiraishi-kun, a high schooler that suffers from what I think is more than fair to call a puberty syndrome. Kinda remind me of what happened to Sakurajima Mai from Bunny Girl Senpai. Because since he was little, he's always been basically invisible to others. This dude lives the dream life of any introvert. This phenomenon would occur in any type of environment. Be it at school, where his classmates would think that he's been absent for the entire year when actually he would never miss a day, and the teachers would more often than not forget about giving him papers or even check his homework. And well, nobody notices him except one person, a girl called Kubo. Not only she is the only person to always notice him, but she also does her best to give him the chance to become the protagonist of his own life. Sure, well, I mean, she probably took inspiration from her fellow colleagues to find the best way to do it. But at least she teases Shiraishi with one specific goal in mind, which is to make him stand out and get noticed by those who surround him. How nice of her. Like, seriously though, what the actual fuck is going on this season? all this wholesomeness is way too fucking much for a filthy weeb to handle. I mean, we're alright if you give us boobies and tsunderes, but reciprocated love? Nah, our brains go standby mode. Well, thank you very much for watching. This was all for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I really hope that it helped you find some new and amazing series to dedicate your precious time to. Other than that, be sure to check out the rest of the videos on this channel. There's like a shitload of them. Other than that, thank you very much again. I really hope I'm going to be seeing you in my next videos. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Thank you very much. Goodbye.